is getting to the point now whenever there is some sort of criticism targeting a product that a lot of gamers, in this case, don't like when we're talking about Ubisoft and their new Assassin's Creed entry. It is now being brushed off as being toxic gamer talk. Whereas if you were to go back 10 years ago, this article is from 2014 of March of 28th, you would have the VP at that current time say this: "We would be very stupid to ignore fans' need for annual Assassin's Creed," says Ubisoft. So during this time, demand for these types of games were through the roof. You had actual good products being released that actually had love and care put into it. Whereas with nowadays, it's nothing about that. It's all about how these agendas and these narratives ought to be. And what's even more interesting is if you scroll down right here, in his second point, it states this: "It needs to keep the series' core values, and we need to really make sure that we have a good high level understanding of what is to be an assassin. We have to make sure we always deliver a better feel and overall experience every time while still bringing something that they haven't seen before that's consistent with being an assassin in the world we've created." And this is the core value that Ubisoft, modern day Ubisoft, is missing, is trying to stick to what actually worked, and that has been Assassin. Whereas in today's modern day age Ubisoft, a lot of people are starting to say that it's starting to feel more like an RPG and less of what it felt like back 10 years ago. And this was coming from the VP at the time, right here, Leonard Renaud. And what makes it even more surprising is the VP at the time would leave in 2020, just before Assassin's Creed Valhalla released, and we started seeing all these dumpster fires with Ubisoft, with their current stock sitting at $2.30. If this pattern continues to go on, there's a potential for this company to get delisted off the stock exchange. Just go into their max chart. They are down 58.8% all the way from the beginning when they first launched in '08 at $5.57. It is absolutely crazy, and this is why we continue to see products fail when it comes to companies not giving a damn about what the gamers want, the criticism that is being involved in trying to implement and correct those constructive criticisms that a lot of people are talking about. And before we get into this article, please don't forget to subscribe, like, or dislike. It doesn't matter. It helps this channel, and I much appreciate it. So, Ubisoft developers reportedly reveal company brushes off legitimate criticism as toxic gamer talk and DEI policies have led to brain drain. Alleged Ubisoft developers claim that the company either ignores legitimate criticism of its business practices and games or brushes it off as toxic gamer talk. They also claim that the company's DEI policies have led to loss of talent in both technical expertise as well as creativity. And a lot of people would say that the gaming industry as a whole is in the gutter when it comes to AAA gaming, and you are correct. But when you look at even things in the real world, the way people are making houses nowadays, they're making it out of cheap materials. Cars, same thing. And you're also starting to have more and more people graduating schools that are less and less competent. Why is that? Because there's a lot of cheating going on. But at the end of the day, you still got your degree, so you should be fine, I guess, right? YouTuber Legendary Drops reports he spoke with a number of Ubisoft developers and specifically asked one how Ubisoft internalizes and discusses general criticism from players and the rest of the industry, whether that's its repetitive design, agenda driven content, or predictable games. The developer responded at a high level. They rarely talk about it at a project level. They brush it off as toxic gamer talk, as Asmongold correctly pointed out in one of his videos. Ubisoft is filled with toxic positivity that prevents growth. And what's insane to me is that a lot of us have been asking for Assassin's Creed game to be set in stone in a Japanese setting. You had everything to make this game be a giant success, but instead of just making your own characters that, weren't a part of a historical taking, you hire a very controversial, apparently in quotes, samurai Yasuke and implement him as being the main character, where essentially you're having a black man killing the Japanese. And this is why we are seeing people in Japan being in an uproar, as well as even a lot of historians, as well as the Japanese government. it seems as if in the modern day you can't stay away from controversy. You can't just make a simple good product. It continues on. After being asked about Japanese gamers sharing their own criticism of Assassin's Creed Shadows, the developer stated the criticism hasn't been talked about and Ubisoft only issued demands that we mustn't engage with discussion on that topic publicly. I'm telling you, this company has to be crapping themselves. They moved this game back to February of 2025. And what makes it even more crazy is that that is Black History Month, and then yet here's your main character, Yasuke. And I also want to show you guys a clip. I'm not sure if y'all saw this, but during in-game, when you're about to go into combat, certain music will start to play when you're playing as Yasuke, and here it is.
Greed cannot rule this village. Not while I have breath in my lungs and a blade in my hand.
I said kill him!
And I mean, it speaks for itself. You're having a company that says that this is all gamer negative talk, but you're implementing these stereotypes when it comes to rappers onto a black character in game. Like that is racism at the core, correct? But at the end of the day, whenever you voice your own opinion, disapproving a product, you're going to be labeled as a phobe or a racist, this and that, when in reality, those people that are calling you those things, they tend to be the ones that have those words attached to them. And this just furthermore confirms as to why we are continuing to see quality products coming from Ubisoft just going down the absolute gutter when it comes to playability, the fun factor, the gameplay factor, as well as even the graphics. We saw Star Wars Outlaws and the atrocity that game has brought, as well as these couple past recent entries within the Assassin's Creed genre. And with all that in mind, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye-bye.